good evening. It always ends on such a great beat, that song. How are you all? Welcome to Thursday Night Live for Cricket for Australians on YouTube. If you are here to learn all about faux leather, leatherette, bit of foiling as well, then you're in the right place. If you're brand new, type new in the comments because I want to meet you. And if you're watching the replay, also type new because I want to meet you as well. If you've got any questions, pop Q in front of your question in the comments, and that'll just make it a lot easier for me to find your question. So, if you don't know who I am, my name's Paul, and I share all my cricket knowledge and expertise with you so that you can master these incredible machines. And ultimately, we want you to make beautiful things. And today, we're making beautiful leatherette coasters that are 80s, kind of 90s maybe inspired if you're a little bit older than me. But hopefully you'll find that fun. If you like this video as well, give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you make sure that you don't miss out on any content going forward. So let's check out the comments and see who's in the house. Hey Norma, how are you? What are you doing? Yes, Gail, bit of exercise, pump out those sillies, get revved up, get started for a Thursday night. Hey Megan, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. Lots of people joining. Nat's loving the sexy dance moves. But I think Nat's got the moves, right? You can see here she loves to kind of pump it out, which is awesome. Cool. All right, let's get camera. And what we're working with today is, and I've included a link in the comments, is a product called, or a couple of products, but the first one being this faux leatherette from Little Wombat, and these are just some of the samples that they very kindly sent me, and they're so cute. This one is called Dino World. I have Comic Clouds, which is so cool. It's beautiful and thick. We've got travel stamps, which is awesome because I'm in travel, and nobody can travel at the moment, so that's a really cute one. Now I am having some technical problems tonight as well. I probably should have started with that. I'm just going to go back to the main camera. So I did have some technical problems tonight. Natalie, can you just let me know in the comments if it's a major problem? Because if it is, I'm just going to give out some information and I might end the live. And the reason being that my internet, I basically had no internet today, and then I've had slow internet, and then I've had fast internet. So if someone could just let me know if it's really bad, because it was really bad. I had pretty much zero today, and I don't want to go through this whole thing and then at the end it's just been a complete disaster. I might have to reschedule. Natalie, if you're there. She's jumped in, pretended that she's listening, and then she's disappeared. Yeah, I don't even know if you guys are hearing me. What I might do is I'm just going to give you some information, and then I'm going to end the live, and I will reschedule to do this at another time. It's good now? All right, I'm going to keep going. Someone let me know if it goes a bit crazy. All right, so we've got this one here, which is Graffiti Wall as well, which is really cool. I've got Hipster Robots. They are so cute. Really retro colors, the teal, the mint, and the orange. Really, really cute. This is called Viking Warriors. Okay, so that's good. I am watching your comments, so thank you for keep those coming through again. If it does go a bit cray-cray. Hey Paul from the UK, thanks for joining, Paul. We've got Under the Sea Pirates as well. They're really fun. And the one that we're working with today, as you can see, this is all I've got left. And these really cool cassettes, and I think they were called 90s cassette tapes, which was good. So that's what we're going to work with today. But along with this leatherette, now I want to point out that it is white on one side, but next week you're going to find out a nice little trick that you can do with that. I've also got some paper thin faux leather from Cricket as well. So we'll be using that, and we'll also be using our foiling tool, and of course we'll be using that with some silver foil today, and of course we've got the little sticky sheets as well. Yes, Norma, the dragons are cute, aren't they? Okay, so that's what we're working with today. I'm just going to move some of these other bits out of the way. Now, I am going to tell you at the end all about a competition where you can win a $200 voucher for Little Wombat, or one of two runner-up prizes of a $50 voucher. But I have just posted in the group, Cricket for Australians, a code where you can actually get 10% off. So if you use leatherette and faux leather a lot, I'd suggest jump in, don't delay and wait to see whether you win the prize or not, because they've got some really cool designs and they may sell out, and I'd hate for you to miss out. The other product that I'm going to use again, is this Bostik fixing glue gel that they sent me in the post recently. So again, not a paid advert, they literally just sent me some glue, and I'm really, really enjoying that. It fixes 99.9% of materials. So that's really cool, and it seems to be working really, really well. Alison's asking, where can I get extra foil from? So Spotlight, Harvey Norman, Big W, they should all have stock, so keep an eye out. If we get advice of any stock, we'll definitely let you know as well. Okay. So what we're working with as well are these, I don't know what they're made of, but these wooden coasters from Kmart. They are $6, I think, for 6, and I've included a link in the description as well. And they're just really, really nice. Really, really lightweight. I'm obsessed with coasters. So we're going to make 2 of these today, but ultimately, let me preview what I made today for my little test. So I've done a set of 6. So this is 1. Well, I did 2, and I'm going to ultimately have 3 with the cassette tapes on them. And then I'm going to have 1 with a floppy disk. Do we remember those, guys? On the faux leather. And it's got a really nice, I sized this so it just got a really nice edge around it, and because these are kind of grey, it ties them really nicely with the silver foil. And do you know that they only held 1.44 megabytes of data? Can you believe that? Not even a photo now. And then I've got this old cassette tape as well. How cute is that? So I saw these images, I saw this faux leatherette, and I thought, oh my gosh, it spoke to me about, I say 80s because that's kind of when I started listening to music and things like that, and cassette tapes, because they're 80s, 90s, and it's freezing again. Marie is asking, can you use Heidi Swap foil that you'd use for the Mink machine? No, because that is heat activated, and it also attaches itself to laser ink, not inkjet, what's the other kind? Anyway, from a laser printer, the ink from that, so you need to obviously work with it in that form as well. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll open up our machine, and I'm going to share my screen. We all use floppy disks, don't worry about it. As embarrassing as it is. Alright, so let me get to Design Space. So I'm just going to open my project, which is here. I'll share this file on my Scissors Paper Paul Facebook group as well. I'm just opening this up, and we're going to click Customize, because I'm only going to make 2 of these tonight, because I've already made 4 of them. So I'm just going to select these 4 that I've already made, and I am going to just hit the delete button. I won't save that, because obviously I don't want them to disappear completely, but that just leaves me with these 2, which I'm going to play with. The orange one is going to be in the faux leatherette, and the black one will be in the faux leather from Cricket with the foiling as well. So let me just move some things out of the way. And I'm going to click Make It. Now here we go. So I'm just going to go back to my main screen. So it's asking me for the first layer, which is going to be my kind of a strong grip mat for my faux leather. This is what I use. And I'm going to put my faux leatherette up on the top left corner here. Now, normally I would say to put your pretty side down when you're cutting faux leather or faux leatherette, because typically it can have like a fluffy side, and that is going to leave fuzzies on your mat. Of course, we can't do that when we're foiling, when we come to the foiling part, because we're going to be foiling onto the top of this leather. But just for good practice, flip this over and upside down. Strong grip mat. On the Maker or the Explore, I'm actually going to cut it on a denim setting. So I'll just go back to sharing my screen and click continue. And what I wanted to show you here is that you can cut it on both of those machines. You can, of course, with your Maker, use your rotary blade, but I'm just using the fine point blade that comes standard with your machine. And the setting that I'm going to use is bonded denim. Now, this just comes from experience, knowing these machines, knowing, what a lot of them, what I've cut with before and what might work. Sometimes a little bit of trial and error. You just do a little test cut first. I'm just going to browse all materials and I'm going to type in denim. And the first one is denim bonded. I'm going to choose that. Click done. And I'll go back to my overhead, and the button is flashing. If you are new to Cricut, always just use your finger, palm of your hand, very gently just curl your mat up a little bit, and when you hit the load button, it's always going to load perfectly each and every time. Now we're just going to wait for the flashing C. We'll press that, and that will cut out our first part of our project. It's going to be nice and quick tonight, so for those of you that are struggling, or if I'm going a little bit jittery because of my internet, I do apologise, bear with me, and we'll get through this as soon as we can. And you've got to stay to the end because I want you to know how you can win one of those fabulous prizes. Let me know in the comments as well if you do a lot with faux leather. So I'm just going to eject that, and let's have a look and see if it's cut. Cut beautifully, love it when it cuts so beautifully. I'm just going to grab my spatula and just put that up into one corner and just peel that off. There we go. Nice, lovely, perfectly cut. We'll pop that one aside, and now we'll move on to our next one, which we, what I might do is, I'm just going to cancel this because I want to show you. Okay, I'm just going to click continue. So I do apologise if this is freezing. I can see some people are making those comments. Some people seem to be okay. Again, it could be me. Thank you for those that are saying it's okay. As I say, I am definitely having some issues here tonight. But hopefully we'll get through. Nat's saying that she can't wait to play with more faux leather. And while I'm there, I'll say, so next week Nat will be doing faux leather as well. So she'll be working with the leatherette. She's got a fabulous tip on how to hide, this time I'm going to choose the faux leather, paper thin for Cricut. She's got a fabulous trick for covering that back as well, so don't miss out on that. So she'll be doing faux leather as well, which is super exciting. Can't wait for that. So here we can see with the instructions, it's saying to load my transfer tool and also to put the silver foil on my base material. So go back to the overhead. So here is my tool. I'm doing medium, so I can see that this is a medium because it has the two lines. I store my other tips here in my little magnetic blade compartment. So to swap it out, super easy. You can just press the top, pull it out, press it in again, pop it in, and you're good to go. That goes in where the blade would normally go. So I'm going to take out my blade and put in my Cricut foil transfer tool. Then I'm going to put down my faux leather, and this time obviously because I'm going to foil on the leather, I'm going with the pretty side up. But as I say, if I was cutting this normally for anything else, I would normally cut it the other way around so I don't get fuzzies on my mat. And then I'm going to take my silver foil. Now I'm going to use a larger sheet today because I want to make sure that I, get this right while you're all watching me. But you could certainly do this a little bit smaller if you wanted to. And I'm just going to work out where my design is going to be. And that is definitely going to be in the right spot. Now you don't want your foil, I'm not putting the foil this way because I don't want the foil to touch the sticky part here because it will adhere to my mat. But what I'm going to do is, these are the little tricks for you. So when I go down with my first piece of tape, it'll be hard to see, but what's going to happen is the static is going to attract itself to my stick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just lower it down. I'm not just going to put it right down and stick it down. I'm going to wait until that kind of pops up to my sticky, which is just done now, and then I'm just going to hold it nice and taut, and I'm going to stick that down nice and sticky. And then likewise, I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to pop this down, and it is going to come up to that tape, and then I can pull it nice and taut. Okay, and then I can stick that part down, and likewise I'm going to do exactly the same for these ends. So again, I'm just going to turn this around a little bit. So I'm going to come down, this will come attracted to the sticky, and I can pull it nice and firm, stick it down, and then the last piece, do exactly the same. Get it to come up to the sticky, and then pull it nice and taut, and then stick. And that of course can stick to the outer part of the mat because that's not sticky, so that's all good. And then we will load our mat. There it goes. And then I'm just going to go to wait for the flashing C. And it is going to go and draw my next design, which, I'll go back to sharing my screen, is this cute little cassette tape. So I'll have a cassette tape, a VHS tape, and a floppy disk in my set of 6 coasters. Back to the overhead. Check some of your comments over here. Thanks, Megan. Yeah, there's not much I can do at the moment, so I apologise. Hey Rose, don't stress, you can always watch a replay after this finishes. All good. Thanks everyone that's letting me know that it is being a bit choppy. And Paul from Love Audio in the UK wants one of these machines. Paul, you've got to get a Cricut. It is going to change your life. Think all the beautiful things you can make, all the things you can decorate, everything in your studio that you can make. In your studio will be fabulous. But yeah, this really spoke to me, this design. Being that I am a bit of a, I was 80s, I was a 70s baby, into the 80s, late 80s, started listening to music, Madonna, Kylie, Jason Donovan. What were you guys listening to at that age? Patty's saying it's neat, thanks Patty. A great thing that I like to do, if I'm thinking about doing a foil project as well, is just search images, and then you can filter by draw only, and then that way you just see images that are all drawn, and they're perfect for the foiling project. So you'll be really surprised what you'll find in there. Thanks, Helen. Not feeling cool, calm and collected, but just trying to do my best. As I say, it's going to be a nice quick one tonight. We don't have too much more to do, and then I can give you all of the gossip about the competition, and you'll be one step away from winning. Okay, so flipping back over into sharing my screen now, it's telling me to remove the used silver foil and to load in my fine point blade into clamp B. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So now I'll just take off the tape side, and I'll just peel this back. There's our little cassette tape. Just love the detail. Now, normally I'd cut a smaller piece and be a little bit sparing, but tonight, because I just wanted to make sure I nailed everything. I didn't want to sort of take that risk. So again, taking out my foiling tool and popping in my fine point blade. And then, so we don't eject the mat, we press the flashing C and now it's going to cut it out. Natalie's pretending she's really young. So if you believe that. Paul's excited all the different things he can make. Our coasters, I've got so many coasters here. It's crazy. I need to give them away. So Christmas is coming, thank goodness. A lot of people are going to get coasters. Brilliant. Okay, so now that's finished, and if you're not sure, especially if it's a new setting, you can always just do a little bit of a check. We can see that it's cut, so we'll eject it, and then boom, there we go. Fabulous cassette tape. Okay, now you can't see, but there are some little specks of the foil on there as well, and you just wipe them off. I just use my finger. You can use a soft cloth, whatever you like, and you might be able to see, it's hard to see, yeah, you can see a little bit of silver on my finger, so that just wipes right off. So don't worry if you do cut something and you're like, oh my goodness, it hasn't worked. It probably has, you just need to give it a little bit of a dust off. And now we will move our mat out the way completely and bring in our coasters. So as you can see, I've cut them, you can see it better on here. I've cut them just a tad smaller than the coaster, so I get like a nice little silver or grey rim around the outside, which I think is really cool. And likewise the same for these ones. There's just a little outer rim. You could take it right to the edge if you want, but I just thought that was a nice little sort of pop of design. So now I've got my glue. You know I love my little dots of glue. I'm literally going to go, around the clock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like as if it was on a clock. So not too generous. So just go, but decent little blobs. Not too close to the edge as well, because of course once I press down on it, it will spread out. And then I just do one in the center and then 4 other ones there. You use as much or as little as you want. I do find with this glue a little goes a long way. The other good thing about it being a liquid glue is that you do get a little bit of wiggle room. So before it dries, before you have to sort of really set it down and lock it down, you can wiggle it around and move it and just make sure that you've got it where you want it. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm just going to press down so I get a nice, adherence. Karen loved a bit of Madonna, a bit of Bon Jovi. Excellent. So awesome. Love that music. Okay, and there is our cassette coaster all ready to go. So we'll add him to the pile, and then we'll add this one, and then we're done. Nice quick project tonight. Normally I would go live on YouTube on Sunday at 11 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, but I won't be this week. Oh, forgot my glue in the middle, because it is AFL Grand Final weekend. It's a long weekend here, so I'll be enjoying my family and hanging out with them. So again, get a little bit of wiggle room while it's setting. Press it down. Hold it down just to make sure it adheres. So let me just pop that over. So Kelly's asking, basically, could you cut the foil off once you've used it and reuse it? Yes, you could. What I normally do is you can see here, I've got little slithers here. Normally I would cut it before I even stuck it on. You can reuse those little sticky sheets as well, the little pieces of sticky tape. So you don't need to throw those away, but you do get enough for each sheet of foil in the pack. So I'd cut it down beforehand. That's what I did earlier today, but tonight I just didn't want to muck it up live on camera. Didn't want to take any chances. And there is my other coaster. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I've got my set of 6 now. There we go. all set for someone to get for Christmas. So there are my coasters. Hopefully you like that project. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. More than happy to answer. Deirdre's asking, do I seal it? No, I won't seal it. I mean, that's something you could potentially do, but to be honest, these are going to be decorative. These, by all means, I think will last really well with hot drinks, cold drinks, getting wet and so forth. The reality of this, with it being foil on this other substrate, is, you know, if you get it wet, I'd imagine potentially you could potentially rub at it and get it off. So for me, these are more the decorative part, and here's the functional part, if that makes sense. So there. Now, if you want to win a voucher for the fabulous Little Wombat and order some of this gorgeous vinyl, and again, there's a discount code in Cricket for Australians already if you want to go shopping tonight. But to enter the competition, there's going to be two parts to it. I'm going to give you some information now, and then next week on Natalie's Live, she's going to give you the final piece of information, and then the following week on the live after that, I will announce the winner. So very, very good luck to you. With Halloween just around the corner, I was sort of thinking black cats, all that sort of thing. I've got a black cat, one of my favourite pets. So what I want you to remember, okay, now there isn't anywhere for you to enter this information yet. You've got to remember this, right? When we post for your entry, you have to include in your entry the name of your favourite pet. I know that's a bit random, but just remember the name of your favourite pet. Tune in next week to Natalie's Live. She'll give you the second part. Then we'll post the competition. You can enter, and as I say, we'll announce the winner the following week. All right. So once again, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Also, don't forget Natalie and myself on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Scissors Paper Paul, Nat's Crafty Life. We'd love it, love it, love it if you would follow us. I'm going to take a really cool photo of these coasters tomorrow, and I will update my file in Design Space, and I'll share that link on Scissors Paper Paul Facebook page, and you can make these yourself or make a different version of them, completely up to you. But have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful rest of the week. If you're in Melbourne, enjoy a long weekend. If you are a Tigers supporter, go Tigers. If you go for the Cats, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But honestly, guys, take care, be fabulous, and I'll see you next time. Bye.